So I'm just coming today to talk to you about identifying your ideal client. Now, you've all heard it said that you need to know your niche and you need to niche down. And a lot of the advice that you're being given at the moment, and has been traditionally, is that you need to have the age, the demographic, where they live, what kind of job they do, and so on. Truthfully, what's working now is not identifying your ideal client in that way. Because the point is, your ideal client needs to find you. How much better is it that your ideal client is finding you than you're having to search for them? Well, what's going to make them find you? How are you going to stand out from the crowd? Because let's face it, in the coaching world, there's a huge crowd out there and around you. There are lots of other people doing what you do. The point is, do you talk about the change that you can make for your client? What is it that they can get from you that's different from somebody else? Are you listening to people in your niche, in the world that you work? Are you listening to what they're serving, what they're selling, the offer that they're making? And are you asking yourself, well, what could be different about my offer? What could I add into the mix that nobody else is doing, or not very many people? How can I make it special to me? How can I start talking about it? And how can I actually be somebody that stands out? Well, the way that you can do that is listen out to your ideal client. Find out what they're saying. Find out what they want. What do they need? Look on their social media. What are they posting about? What are their pains, their struggles, their worries? And then start tapping into that struggle and pain. Show them that you care about them, that you feel what they feel, that you hear what they're saying, and that you've got a solution to it. Because when you stand out head and shoulders above the crowd, your ideal client will come looking for you. Ask yourself, what do you most love doing? What sets you on fire? What is it that when you know that you've achieved it with a client, it makes you feel really good, really empowered, and it sparks that passionate side of you? Because that's what you need to start talking about. And you need to start talking about it in a way that's different. So don't copy other people's posts. By all means, read them, but then look at what you could say differently. If you're speaking about weight loss, look at the end result that your client is looking for. Have a look and see, what is it that they really want? Do they really want to feel, for example, like a trendy grandma? Is that really what they're looking for? Is that why they're worried about their weight? Because if it is, then that's what you need to start talking about. Or it could be that it's health. It could be that they've got back pain. Listen, what is it that they're asking for? What is the end result that they want? And then start talking about it if you've got the solution. If you're talking about business, are they confused about tech? Then talk about helping them with tech if you can do it. Don't just try and push them off to somebody else. Make sure that the language you're using is the language they're listening out for. Now that becomes a message that was related to you. So make sure that you talk about it a lot. Test and try out how you can explain your service. See what kind of results you get coming back to you. See what kind of comments people are making. Because if they're just making comments that say, oh yeah, good idea, or well done you, that sort of comment, you know that your message isn't landing. If your message is landing, it will make people think. So ask questions. Ask questions that make people think deeply, that make people, they can't just put a yes or no answer. They can't just say, oh, I love this, great post, because it means nothing. The question you ask needs to make them think. So have a think. What is it that you do? What change do you make for your clients? And will that be for actually clients of different ages? Could be men and women, could be in different jobs. Ask yourself what changes that you make, and then add in something that your competitors aren't doing. Start talking about it, going out there, testing it, find out what answers you're getting, and make sure that your message is clear, it's concise, it's wise, it's thoughtful, and it's thought-provoking, because that way they'll respond to you. And then to crown it all, make sure they know that you care. Let them hear the authenticity in your voice. Let them hear that you've been there before, that you've been there and that you've managed to get through the other side, that something you've learned has helped you to cross over into the success side of this walk. Don't boast about it. Don't brag about it. Share a little bit of your vulnerability, of what it felt like when you were there, and then share some of the steps. Give them value, share some of the steps. But ultimately, let your message be different and let it stand out from the crowd so that your client finds you.